Well, hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to this Thanksgiving episode here. Wherever you're doing for Thanksgiving week, hope that you are enjoying it. Hope you get to spend some time with family. If you're traveling and the airports are crazy, I hope the chaos is as tame as it can be possible. I know I've seen some stuff even from today of airports shutting down or TSA being backed up. And so, yeah, just praying that wherever you're going, I pray that it's easy and that you get there safely. This week, we will not have a guest, just a quick little mini-sode with myself as we're kind of heading into the holiday season. Even for me personally, I know life is getting pretty busy. Third kid on the way here in just a couple of weeks, or really like a month and a half. And then just, life stuff, as I'm sure everybody else who's listening to this goes through. But wanted to say, hey, for the holidays, things might change just as far as cadence, but we will be back. Love doing this show. Love being able to talk with people who are local to Lakeland and from around the country with just interesting stories and what they bring to the table. And if there's anything in this week for this little mini-sode that I can bring to you, my hope would be that it would just be a little bit of peace in times that just seem to continue to be a little unsettling. Obviously, there's stuff happening in our world, right? There are major wars. There's genocide happening in Africa. There are people getting elected, and all of these things. And not even saying they're all; those aren't necessarily even all on the same playing field or all equal. But just obviously that there's a lot of stuff going on in our world, and from whether depending upon how glued you are to the news, I would say you could probably be a little bit stressed or anxious during this time. And, maybe a few things that I'd encourage you to do is one, especially as you're going to be around family this Thanksgiving, unglue yourself from the news a little bit. Is it good to be aware of what's going on in the world? 100%. But is it healthy to know everything that's happening all the time? Probably not. And it would do you fine just to kind of take a step back and to just have some peace as you go into your holiday week. And then I think there's a number of things that, like, I obviously having Christian faith and believing what I believe, there's this verse that comes to mind that I think would hopefully bring you some peace. It's in Matthew 6:34. Just says, "Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own troubles." I love to going even back to Jeremiah 29:11, and you may know this verse. You may have it tattooed on your arm somewhere. But it says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a hope and a future." And, wherever you may be this week as you're heading into your holidays, I hope you know that. I hope this can be a moment for you to just take a deep breath and just to relax. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you next week for One More Minute Podcast.